standing for leadership. Whoa, standing for love and unity, standing for education, standing for peace. Undying hope is standing for entrepreneurship, standing for truth. Undying hope is standing for education, standing for truth.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We are here. This is Undying Hope Media. I'm Manuel, and this is still my husband. We are the co-founders of Undying Hope International. And today we're gonna talk a little bit about the journey of Undying Hope and how it started. But before we dig in deeper, let's just see this little bit of dance from some of the students of Undying Hope. Hello, we're back again. It was just a short clip. Those were Undying Hope students from University of Juba. So they were welcoming my husband and some of the team that came to Juba a year ago. So, like I said earlier, for those who came late, my name is Aluel, and this is my husband TL. We are the co-founders of Undying Hope International, and we're here today to talk a little bit about how Undying Hope started. And Undying Hope is a journey. So sometimes people wonder, people don't think about how this person reached where they are. Everything it's a journey. Everything has a starting point until you get to usually where you are. Um, Today, uh, we will dig a little bit about the nuggets of hope. He explained earlier what is the nuggets mean. Nuggets is a bit some. It's like when you eat. Sometimes when you snack, if you don't want to eat a whole meal a day, you can just snack a little bit at the time. So nuggets of hope is they're all about how Undying Hope started, and we're gonna have some pieces of the journey of Undying Hope, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be every other Friday, and I'm the one who's gonna be interviewing him. So for those who don't know, they will know him more through this time that I'm going to interview him, and he will be talking about those things. Actually, he posts them. He been posting nuggets of hope on social media on Facebook, but we decided let's talk about it and explain it a little bit more to different people. So today, uh, I'm going to interview my husband, Mr. Teal. It sounds weird, but I'm sure a lot of people know us. Um, actually, gonna start with the nuggets of hope that he wrote on Facebook a couple of days ago, and I read it, and for me, it was fascinating uh, to to just go through his journey and let's say his undying hope uh, journey started actually when he was 11 years old, and that was in 1986. And today, in 1986 is a long time, but we will be. It's there are stories, there are episode in this all this time, but we'll be talking about it one at a time. But let's go back to the nuggets of hope that he wrote a couple of days ago on social media, and it talks about the light, the type of lights that he used when he was little, and he's gonna be telling us about those light and how they were benefiting him. And I'm sure a lot of people have that experience before, and a lot of people um, are still using those type of light. So it would be good that to just go back how we grew up, and what are the things that we used to use while we growing up to study. So can you tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about the lights that you used to use? Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mommy. The To think of nuggets, think of the saying that you cannot eat the whole elephant at once, but you can eat that elephant one bite at a time. So that bite is what nuggets mean. So undying hope is a journey, is a huge journey that started back in Awil in southern Sudan, all the way to northern Sudan, to Syria, to the US, and back to East Africa or South Sudan. So along the way, we will be giving you snippets, small bites that is chewable, that is manageable. And then if you want more, you want to learn more about undying hope, then it would come later. So this week, I wrote about light, light source. When we were little children, you will see there was no light like power that we have now here. We didn't have them. That time there were few generators in the neighborhood, and then later on we had generator too in our home. But before that, we were depending on uh, kerosene light. Kerosene light is a small light um, that looks like this, and there are type of them, number of them that we use to light for us to study, for us to see our mom, to move around the house. There's also bataria, the light that they use, and also different type of kerosene light that you put gasoline in, and then it shows you the whole house. So that is one type. Another type, it looks like this, uh, and then we have a different type of light that we used to use for students. We use them to study. Um, yeah, we use them to study. Some use them just at home. And right now, this generation that is here now, they will not know this because they are born into having light already at home. We use this type of light for study. We use them for different things especially at night. The other source of light that we had was the moon. So Africa is blessed with a very bright moon. So we use that also to study. We also use candle to study. So so all this type of light are what made us who we are today. The people that were back then at that time, they will resonate with what I'm saying here. The new generation may not know, but the older generation, they would know. And without those light, without kerosene light, without the moon, the light would have been very difficult. One is man-made, and the other one is just a gift from God. Um, and I start to know this light even more when my dad, after war broke out, the school were closed, and it's around the time where Undying Hope actually, where I got pregnant with Undying Hope in 1986, when a will was burned down, the whole will, and my dad was a commissioner at that time. And so uh, after school were closed, my dad got me a job at the store, and there I start to know even more type of light, more than what I knew when I was home.
Okay. Okay. I remember also when we were growing up in Khartoum, lights in Khartoum always goes off. Where, and I'm sure everybody who's listening now and grew up in Khartoum, we always had that experience. Even for those who had lights like us and other people, let's say we did not have light at that time, but when we were in Khartoum, we had lights and it always goes off. We
Yeah.
also use candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to keep your
When the power
mom
goes
has,
off.
yeah, we always have to have a candle at home in case the power goes off. Then we light the candle so we can use it for reading.
Mhm.
You might be sometimes you might be doing your homework and then all of a sudden the power goes off. Then you have to run around looking for a candle to light for study. So, like you said, kids this time, this generation, they don't know much about those type of light. But I'm sure there's some people who are still struggling and using this type of light somewhere else. And so my question is, when you look back now at those time, what comes to your mind?
Yeah, that time South Sudan was still part of Sudan, and even with that, there are challenges. And now that I God took me through different countries and exposed to different cultures, all the way to Middle East and the United States. I look back now and I'll say there are some good steps that have been made,
Mm.
but there are also a lot of things that can be done to benefit, to have a power that every village, every family deserve to have a light. South Sudan is now, back then was Southern Sudan, now is South Sudan. And there are some resources, like you and I, we went to Fuller Dam in Numili, and you can see the strength of water that can generate
Power.
power to light most part of South Sudan, if not all. We have a Jongle canal that was going to be built. There's also a wind power, number of technologies that happen now uh, that can provide light. Uh, if not within South Sudan, the neighboring countries also can. The government can work with neighboring countries to see how to provide light. Now it can look just as light, but that light is part of infrastructure.
Mhm.
You know, it can drive technology, it can build economy, and it can also um, help a student instead of depending on a kerosene like us that time. They can use that light for many other things, not just reading devices. Um, so, so I can see that um, if government has that plan, an idea, for example, a government can say every family must have a light. You see, that is an idea. But because of that one idea, you can develop the whole nation if the whole country, including rural areas, are are provided with light. And it is possible. I know right now South Sudan is going through challenges, economic challenges. This may be a big undertaking project, but it is important, at least to put it in the vision that this is where we're heading in the future. So looking back, that's what I can see. I can see that we shouldn't be using kerosene right now, kerosene lamp. I should not go to village and see people are still using the same. However, there are still people in the villages that are still using kerosene, which is unfortunate. But I can see it would be better um, in the future. So this is a nuggets. Is one of the nuggets that I was talking about. That um, it would be part of solution, practical solution to the challenges that are happening. So we can use the same light that it just a source of light, but it's actually bigger than what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, those are solutions that can be done to this type of problem. And at this time, we should not have this type of problem. But things happen for a reason. Thank you, Mr.
You're
Teal.
welcome.
And for those who are listening, I'm sure everything is clicking back, and I'm sure everybody has a little bit of that history of using the light or even using the moon. And that's the time that you know the beauty of the moon when you go to different countries, that there's so much light that you can't even get a chance to see how bright the moon is. Um, okay, so there's something else that when I was reading and it came up to my attention also. It's the the reward system that your
Yeah,
dad used to do for you guys, and it's all still connected to the light that they use, and then they have to study. But then also after all this suffering and tiredness, there was a reward. Can you tell us about the reward system that your dad used to do for you guys?
absolutely. Think that he came up with a reward system that is actually later on I knew is an effective strategy. So my dad, what he did was he said all his children, all my siblings in our respective schools, if you do well, if you do well and you become number one or number two up to number five, you get a gift. You see, and that all of us we heard that and we're like, you know what, we are going to study hard, whether we have light, whether with the moon, whether with the kerosene, or going to neighbors, our friends to study just to get that gift. And it ranges from a watch to clothes to shoes. Like you can see us around results. They really just amazing how my dad motivated us to study very hard. I remember my brother, who is a medical doctor now, Dr. Garang. he was always number one. So he always get the best, and in his school, some of us also participate. I used to shoot for number one or number two, and in the class. So that, and then my other siblings as well, and all this is to get the reward, is to get the prize, and 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 I can look back now and see how we didn't take education for granted. We really, really study. We really work very hard, and if I'm very honest, it was not just because we know the value of education. No, it was not that. It was
Just to get the
because
gift.
we need the gift, you know, and we come running to dad and said, "Aha, this is my result," and so things goes back to the source of light that we have that enable us to study and to be able to compete with our friend in class and also study together in neighborhood.
So that's mean not the lack of light did not stop you from getting the
Yep,
rewards.
yep,
So you had to study so hard. I can imagine
yeah,
everybody coming from school trying to hide somewhere to study as much as they can so they can get the reward.
yep,
Yeah, there's nothing actually like working hard and get the reward
yeah,
for it. And sure, not a lot of that used to do what your dad did. Not a lot of them, maybe some, because everybody usually is busy. But it's another way of motivating kids to
yeah,
do well in school. And I don't know if people still do it. And you and I do it. We do it for our kids.
yeah,
Yeah, our son, he get the reward what he did when he does his work. When he get good grades, then he get the reward for things, for something that he asked for. And it's something that also us as a parents we should be careful, because those kids of ours this time, they are very entitled.
yes,
So they think that everything that they need, it has to be given to them because we brought them to this world.
yeah,
But by doing that, actually we're not helping them. We are destroying them, we are making them spoil. We're not helping them to see the real world and what it means to work hard to earn something. So if some of parents are doing that, giving their kids things with you should give your child something because they earn it. You should not just give it to them because they are your children. School is the first thing that you can use for them to focus and get good grades, and they get it. When they get it, they know they didn't just get it just like that. They really work hard for it, and usually start from home and it start with parents. Um, okay, so with this reward system,
mhm,
I know it was benefiting. We
yes,
benefit a lot, I'm sure,
yeah,
and we're doing it. We can see it how it's helping us also with our son. So when you look at this reward system, can you talk about it in a bigger way?
yeah,
Mhm.
sure, yeah, yes, it was an effective strategy from my dad at home, and looking at uh, broader than what it is, really a reward system motivate people, uh, and it's something that you earn. For example, work employment. Employment, when somebody gets monthly salary, is what they deserve, is their right, right? Is their right to be rewarded for the work rendered, for the work that they have done, right? And if somebody did exceptionally well, exception, something that is special exception, then that person will be even rewarded better. For example, employee of the month, or any type of gift that is given. That is called above and beyond because somebody went above and beyond what is expected. And few days ago, um, there was salary 1 month or 2 months that was given, and to me, when I read it, it sounded to me more of a privilege than a right. This civil servant, this is their right.
Mhm.
They deserve to be given the whole, actually 12 months or 14 months that they have not worked.
You
You
have
know,
not paid.
they have not paid. They have worked, but they have not been paid all along. And now the 2 months that is given, or 1 month, it sounded as if, dance and be happy, get excited. You know, uh, while it is their right, is a contract with employee and employer. An employer in this case is the government, and they should be given their salary every month for the work that
They
they
have
gave
done.
back to the employer. So that where if I think of that reward system and and bring it back to this time, it is we used to work, we used to study using all these kerosene light and moonlight and candle, and we study hard, and that gift is reward for the work that we put into studying. The same thing, everybody, you go back to work every morning. At the end of the month, you should get
Your
your
paycheck.
salary, your paycheck for the work that you have done. Yes. So and there are so many other examples. This is because it's fresh and just came to mind, and was like, yes, the government should make this a policy, that everybody should get paid every month, and not accumulate month, and then later on it sounded as if it's a privilege is just given to you, and you should be happy. So it is everybody right. When you work, you should be compensated, so you can go and feed your children, and put a roof on their head, and uh, treat them when they are sick. Take them on vacation, whatever that you would do with that money, because you work hard, and they deserve to. Your children deserve not to suffer while you're working. So that's what I would think is, the reward system is an effective system if it's done right,
Correctly.
correctly.
Yeah, that's true actually. Everybody deserves to be rewarded for the work that they have done. And and this reward system here, it works for everybody. It works for the families, it works for the government. Even sometimes there's something called bonus
Hmm.
at work
Yeah.
that is given during Christmas, or if you have done really good work, you deserve, sometimes you deserve to be given a bonus. So that was a good system, and I hope that parents will do that with their children, and people will also do it with their workers. So thank you so much,
Yes.
Mr. Till, for sharing all these
Yeah.
important things with us.
And remember, those are just nuggets
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
journey.
yeah.
Hopefully, when the book come out,
You will
you will read
read it.
more
You will
more
read.
details.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing this, and we'll be sharing some every other Friday. And this tell you that everybody has a start, everybody has a journey. People, that's also tell you a little bit about my husband and where he is right now. It just didn't happen. It was a journey that it started long time ago, and it started with some struggle and some obstacles. But guess what? He had a mission, and he has a journey to complete. So that's why you see him here today, and I'm proud of him
Thank
and
you. I love you, mommy.
everything that he has been doing. I have been beside him step by step, and we say thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for those who are watching. And we'll be sharing more about journey of undying hope, and all we have to say good night wherever you are. Good
is the future,
and have a lovely evening, lovely
standing for leadership.
morning.
Whoa, whoa.
See you guys next.
Standing for love
See you later.
and unity, standing for education, standing for peace. Undying hope is standing for entrepreneurship, standing for truth and hope that never dies. Standing for leadership, whoa, whoa. Standing for love and unity, standing for education, standing for